of shrimp, medium size, which has been peeled and deveined. And you know, this sort of stir fry with using the bok choy and whatever else you have in the fridge, any sort of vegetable you like in your stir fry, it takes me back to, I think, 2004, 2005. I was visiting home and my sister bought me something very similar at a Chinese restaurant in Pinal. So that's in the south part of Trinidad and Tobago. What we need: the shrimp peeled, deveined, washed with cool water and the juice of half of a lime. It's also similar to a dish I would have at a Chinese restaurant on Mocrapo Street in San Fernando, and we're going back into the 80s. Shrimp, a bit of salt, not too heavy because I want some light soy sauce in there as well. A bit of Chinese cooking wine, that's Shaoxing wine. Sesame oil. And I'm not the biggest fan of sesame oil, but I do appreciate the sort of subtle flavor if you don't go too heavy with it. I know a lot of people, I grew up in Trinidad and Tobago, so we use quite a bit of this in our food. A lot of people are not into the whole MSG thing, so you can leave it out if you want. I'm just going to hit that, just a tiny bit of that MSG. And that's all that's going in there. What I'm going to do is give that a good stir. Got my wok on a medium flame, and I'm going to go in with a tablespoon of my spicy stir fry oil, tablespoon and a half of that spicy stir fry oil, onion, bell pepper. Wanted to add some garlic, by all means add some garlic in there. Now if you want to crank up the heat and give this that nice char, that sort of smokiness you get from a wok on high heat, by all means do that. I can't because I gotta stop to take pictures for the website and stuff like that. So yes, the printable recipe will be available at CaribbeanPot.com. Garlic would be great in here, but I ran out of fresh garlic. So I'm going, well, in any case, you need some grated ginger as well too. You gotta love the lovely flavors of ginger and shrimp and even the bok choy that we're using, or pak choy, whatever you call it. Now time to add the bok choy or pak choy, whatever you call it, and I'll show you what I got here. I've got, and it's a tiny one, the smaller leaves, it's been washed, and I cut them into relatively, well, big pieces, but more so the same size pieces. So in goes all of that. To that, I want some mushroom flavored soy sauce, not too heavy, maybe about a tablespoon or so. And a tiny bit of salt, bearing in mind that everything else that I'm adding in there will have that sodium element to it. While we're there, I also want some of this oyster sauce, just a couple tablespoons or so. Just going to allow the water, the remnants of the water from washing the pak choy or bok choy. I keep flipping between the two because I've seen them labeled both ways. And if you're using the sort of the one without the white under here, where it's a bit more yellow, I think that one is called the Shanghai bok choy. But you see how easy this is starting to wilt. And then, this is something you can put together in under 10 minutes. I kid you not. That is how quickly we can do this. What I wanted is to allow that sort of steam to sort of steam everything through. And the steam, what I mean is the water that's in there is going to create that steam that's going to come up, and it's going to soften up the pak choy or bok choy. And it depends on how long you want to cook it. I don't like it overly cooked. The other thing is, if you wanted to add some carrot in here, some bell pepper, some mushroom, zucchini, all those different things would work in here. I'm just trying to use up what I have in the fridge, plus keep it very similar to that recipe I grew up eating. It's been about 2 minutes, so what I want to do is shove everything over to the side a bit, and we're gonna make room. Just gonna add that shrimp directly in there. And there you go. In under 10 minutes, we have a wicked little stir fry here. Nice plump shrimp. I'm gonna turn off the stove because we're not trying to get chewy shrimp. It's a disservice when you overcook that shrimp. Come on, man. Anyhow, memories of me growing up in Trinidad and Tobago, yeah? If you're interested in understanding why there's such a huge influence of Chinese with the Chinese food in the Caribbean, especially Trinidad and Tobago, Jamaica, Cuba, and Guyana, you want to hit Google And yo, indentured laborers, that's all I'm gonna say. 150 plus years, man. Anyways, I gone.